I was at a wedding recently, and a young man was telling me that he was so grateful that the prices of rent have gone down and there's so many available units. And he was grateful that it had been an end to our housing crisis in Travis County. And after I picked my jaw up off the floor and put my eyes back in my head, I I'm grateful for that experience because it was so illuminating because he's not wrong, right? From his experience and the prices of rent have gone down recently. And we've had an influx of luxury and high-end housing. We had this tech boom that sort of softened, and it really did drive the price of renting down for so many people in our community. At the same time, the need for affordable housing
Mhm.
has not diminished. It's still the reality for so many people who live in Travis County that they work in Travis County, but they can't afford to live in Travis County. Or they live in their homes that their families have lived in for generations and they're being priced out of their communities. That is very salient and real for so many people living in Travis County. And that can be true at the same time that we're having, historically low rent prices. And it is a little bit of a not quite as Dickensian, but a tale of two cities. And being able to hold those truths, which are both completely valid at the same time, and explain that there is still such a dire need in our community has been a bit of a challenge, a bit of a perception gap.
My mother was a maid, my mother's mother was a maid. I come from a long history of housekeepers, and I remember how important it was to my mother and father when they bought their first house and growing up in Wichita Falls, Texas. So having a home and having a place that you can call home, whether it's a single family dwelling or an apartment dwelling, is so important to the vitality of the family. And so that has always been very important to me. I've seen the prices in Austin skyrocket and been a part of this movement with Deborah to bring affordable housing to the community at all income levels. And it's interesting now with the talk about affordability, we talk so much about grocery prices, but also we have to remember that rent is a big part of that equation for people. And so I just continue to see it as a focal point for the family and the stability of the family.
I think if a family doesn't have access to stable housing, it impinges on so many other things in that family's lives, continuing education at the same school, continuity with job access, and really impinges on so many rights of dignity and safety and security. And so I'm passionate about housing as a subject because it really is a foundation for so many other things that a community needs to be healthy and to thrive. I think that if I was to give advice to women that wanted to be in spaces that are historically male dominated, whether that's the boardroom, the courtroom, the state house, the advice would be just to know that you're making that space better by being in it. Representation matters.
If somebody doesn't want you in the room, go sit in the front. For some reason, Senator Zaffarini, I always remember that.
Yes, she does say
She says
that.
that. So if somebody doesn't want you, go sit in the front and sit tall and participate. But always be in the front and always be at the table.
Thank you, Deborah, for
Sit
that.
in the front.
Right.
If you walk into a room and you're the only person that looks like you in that room, it's important to stay in that room. And even if you might experience some bias, some prejudice, some discomfort, to sit in that discomfort because the next person that walks in will have a friendly face and an easier time. And as we lead and as we grow, being able to reach a hand down and helping others is incredibly important to build a pipeline of women and to reach down to the next generation and continue to build our future leaders. The room is better having you in it